All right, let's talk about the journey of business reporting. We're going to explore how we went from these thick, static paper reports to the dynamic, interactive dashboards we see everywhere today. And believe me, this isn't just about new technology. It's about a complete shift in how we use data to make decisions and drive strategy, like right now. So let's start at the beginning. The classic business report, right? It's always been about getting the right info to the right people so they can make smart, timely calls. Like a quarterly sales report. It tells you what you sold, where, and when. It's the basic stuff you need to know. Seems pretty simple. But is it really that simple anymore? I mean, we are absolutely swimming in data today. It's coming at us from everywhere, all the time. And when you think about it like that old definition starts to feel, well, a little incomplete. It just doesn't quite tell the whole story of the revolution that's happened.
To really get what's changed, you have to see the before and after. So let's put the old world of the paper report side by side with the new world of the digital dashboard.
You see, the move from page to pixel is really about a change in purpose. Think of the page, the old school report. Its job was to preserve knowledge, to create a record. It was static, heavy on text, and you read it from page 1 to the end. But the pixel? That's a whole different beast. It's all about driving action right now. With interactive dashboards, you don't just read, you explore. You click, you drill down, you find insights on the fly. So, what powered this massive shift from the static page to the interactive pixel? It all comes down to one huge breakthrough, our ability to actually see data in a completely new way. And that's the magic of visuals, isn't it? They let us cut through all the noise and get to the good stuff, the insights, almost instantly. I mean, forget trying to read a giant spreadsheet. Our brains are literally hardwired to process images way faster than text. That's what makes charts and graphs such incredibly powerful tools. And this is not some new tech fad, okay? The idea of visualizing data has some seriously deep roots. We're talking about the late 1700s, when a guy named William Playfair invented the line, bar, and pie charts we still use every single day. Or how about in the 1800s with Menard's incredible map of Napoleon's Russian campaign? It tells this whole tragic story of logistics and loss in a single powerful image. The big change today? The internet has basically put that same power into everybody's hands. So today, our visual toolkit is massive. We've got line charts to see how things are trending over time, like, say, your website traffic. Bar charts are perfect for comparing different things, like sales across regions. Heat maps show us intensity with color. Think about where people are clicking on your website. And bullet graphs? They're awesome for tracking how close you are to hitting a big goal. Every single chart is like a special tool for answering a specific question. Okay, so having all these cool visual tools is great, but it brings up a really important question. Just because you can visualize everything, does that mean you should? Of course not. So how in the world do you figure out what data is actually important enough to put on a dashboard?
And that leads us perfectly to the next big piece of the puzzle, strategy. This is where we go from just making pretty charts to actually measuring the things that truly matter to the business. And the main tool we use for that is the Key Performance Indicator, or KPI. Now, KPI isn't just any old number you track. It's a metric with a very specific purpose. It is laser-focused on a strategic goal. You can almost think of it like a compass for your business. It's always pointing you toward what's most important. So, what makes a KPI a good KPI? Well, there are about 5 key ingredients. First, and this is the big one, it has to be tied directly to a business strategy. No exceptions. Second, it needs a clear target, so you know what good actually looks like. Third, it uses simple visual cues, green, yellow, red, so you can see how you're doing in a glance. Fourth, it needs a time frame, like for this quarter. And finally, it needs benchmarks, so you can compare your performance to last year or maybe even to your competitors. Now, to make sure you don't get tunnel vision, frameworks like the Balanced Scorecard are super helpful. It basically forces you to look at your business from 4 different angles: financial, customer, your internal processes, and even learning and growth. It's all about making sure you're not just chasing money today at the expense of building a healthy business for tomorrow. So, now we have all these important metrics from all over the business. That's great, but a dashboard full of numbers, even if they're good KPIs, can still feel kind of disconnected. So how do you connect the dots and turn it into something that actually makes sense? And the answer, data's secret weapon, is story. This is how you weave all those individual data points into a narrative, something that's compelling and that people can actually connect with. Data storytelling is just what it sounds like. You're organizing your facts into a narrative.
Now, this is not about making things up, not at all. It's about giving your data context to make your insights understandable and, really importantly, memorable. So, for instance, instead of just showing a chart where sales are dipping, you tell a story about how a new competitor's actions are affecting your market. See the difference?
Okay, so when you combine those powerful visuals, the strategic KPIs, and you wrap it all up in a compelling story, that's when you make the final leap. You go from simply reporting to true analytics. And this right here is the absolute key difference. Traditional reporting, or information visualization, its main job is to answer the question, what happened? It's looking backwards. But visual analytics, that asks, why is it happening? And even better, what might happen next? It's the difference between describing the past and actually trying to predict the future. At the end of the day, this whole evolution is about changing the kind of story you're telling with your data. It's just not enough anymore to say what happened. The real power comes from explaining why it happened, and then using that knowledge to decide what you're going to do about it.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. When you look at the reports you use every single day, are they just a rearview mirror, only showing you where you've been? Or are they a map to the future, helping you navigate what's coming next?